Good evening and welcome to the November 19th council meeting. If you'd please stand and join us in the flag salute. It'll be led this evening by Councilman Hargrove.
Everyone, place your right hand over your heart. Ready to begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And our first proclamation this evening is the American Cancer Society's Great American Smokeout Day, which is November 21st. I'd like to call up Ryan Marias, Community Services Supervisor with the City of Chino, and Natalie Aguirre, Crime Prevention Specialist with the Chino Police Department, and Jenny Mott, the Nurse, Tobacco Use Prevention Education Grant Coordinator with the Chino Valley Unified School District. And the proclamation reads, whereas November 21st, 2019, marks the 43rd anniversary of the American Cancer Society's Great American Smokeout, a campaign designed to encourage tobacco users to quit on or before that day. The City of Chino, in conjunction with the community partners such as Chino Valley Unified School District, Chino Police Department, and Chino Experience Teen Center, provides programs that encourage young people to quit smoking or not start at all by promoting a healthy lifestyle and educating youth on the effects of smoking. Tobacco use is responsible for nearly 1 in 5 early deaths in the United States, which remains the single largest preventable cause of disease and premature in the U.S. Yet more than 36 million adults and 4 million middle-aged and high school students continue to smoke cigarettes. Each day, nearly 2,000 young people under the age of 18 try their first cigarette, and another 300 become regular daily smokers. Overall, cigarette smoking rates have dropped. Cigar, pipe, hookah, and other dangerous and addictive ways to smoke tobacco, including e-cigarettes, are on the rise. And whereas the City of Chino urges all tobacco users to demonstrate to themselves and their loved ones that they can quit on or before the Great American Smokeout. Now, therefore, I, Unisem Ulloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim Thursday, November 21st, as the Great American Smokeout Day in the City of Chino, and in doing so, support the American Cancer Society's mission to help create a world with less cancer and more birthdays due to less people smoking.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. We appreciate your continued support on this event. We would like to invite all the teens in the Chino Valley Unified School District to our Chino Experience Teen Center this Thursday, November 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. We'll be partnering with the Chino PD, the school district, and the County of San Bernardino's Friday Night Lights program. They'll be providing presentations on vaping. They're going to bring simulator goggles for alcohol and drugs, and we'll have some different vendor booths out there. The Teen Center participants also created some posters demonstrating why they choose to be drug-free. So we hope you all join us.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. On behalf of the Chino Police Department, we would like to thank you for your continued support in our education and prevention efforts. So we are really excited to be partnering with the Community Services Department as well as the Chino Unified School District in attending the Great American Smokeout at the Teen Center this Thursday. So we are excited for those efforts, and again, thank you for all your support.
Hi, again, thank you, Council, Mayor. We really did see over the years with the tobacco use prevention grants that smoking rates had decreased. So we were seeing 0 to 1% at our traditional high schools and junior highs that were using nicotine in cigarettes and that sort of thing. But in the last 4 to 5 years, we've seen that tremendous rise in the vaping and the e-cigarettes. And it was great that I first heard this morning that the state of California is now suing the big tobacco companies because the things that we know with the the candy flavors and the bright packaging and some of the things they were doing were supposedly prevention type things in the schools, and then what they really showed was it wasn't. So, when they're telling you that this is the healthy way to stop smoking cigarettes and all of this, it really gave the wrong impression. And the cigarette companies know that if they hook you before 18, you're theirs for life. And so what we've found is this is why we believe, and some of the evidence is showing that they were marketing towards kids. So our big push is to get as much research as we can so that we're doing evidence-based teaching. In the meantime, we still need to teach the kids about vaping and e-cigarettes and what are the health effects that we're seeing. And I have to give a big shout out to 2 of my Chino High teachers, Sherry Hall and Lindsay Nelson, because they put together with a lot of the information I've been able to get and they've been able to get, and what the CDE is giving out to us, they put together a week-long instructional lesson plan on vaping. And so they're using what I've been able to purchase with the grant and the information they have, and then they're ending it, which is ironic enough, hearing today about the lawsuit, is they do a mock trial to the cigarette companies that are hosting these. So I think it's really great when we're out there doing anything we can to get our kids educated so they're making informed choices rather than just choices because this is what the big marketing wants them. So again, thank you, because your continued support is really what gets us to helping those kids. So thank you.
Thank you all for being here this evening. Yes. He photobombed. He's photobombing. Okay, next we have the recognition of Chino Youth Museum's 20th anniversary. I'd like to call up Steve Lewis, Chino Youth Museum Board President, and any other board members who are here this evening. Okay, to give you a bit of brief history about the Chino Youth Museum, it was actually, as a side note, it was actually brought to us by a former mayor, Dennis Yates. Dennis and Rosemary had visited San Luis Obispo quite often, and they had a youth museum there, and Dennis absolutely fell in love with it, so brought it to the city of Chino, the idea. So 20 years ago, the Chino Youth Museum opened its doors to the public on December 12, 1999. Today, we're recognizing the museum's 20th anniversary. The museum began as a partnership between the City of Chino and the Chino Youth Museum's Board of Directors, which continues today. The building was originally constructed in 1897 as the first national bank. It houses the original bank vault door and teller windows. Over the years, the building has had many tenants, such as Herb's Hardware. The museum is a miniature version of Chino and offers children the opportunity to explore interactive exhibits and displays, including a bank, theater, science room, water conservation, media room, farmhouse, and community helpers. Approximately 24,000 children and families visit the museum each year. The museum provides a family-friendly experience. To celebrate the museum's 20th anniversary, it'll be on December 6th for the museum's birthday bash from 3 to 5, or come visit Santa at the Parade and Fair event at the Youth Museum's Santa's Village on December 14th from 9 to 2. And today we have our certificate, which says, "Congratulations to the Chino Youth Museum. The Chino City Council wishes you a very happy 20th anniversary and best wishes for more great years ahead. Thank you for enriching the lives of the children and families in the Chino Valley."
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Definitely want to thank you for your continued support for all of our events and programs and everything. You guys have done a wonderful job of helping us out and making the museum what it is today. And it's funny you talk about Dennis, because he was the one that when I was sitting back there in the technically I was probably sitting over there, everyone was the other way around. He asked about if anybody wanted to come help out at the museum. I think it was 2002. And he goes, if anybody wants to help out, I'm on the little board over there, and come and meet me after the meeting. And I did, and then went to the meeting the next week, and I've been on the Youth Museum board ever since. So, and I'd just like to throw that out there. We are looking for new members, always looking for, it's a good quality board that goes out and works, and anybody that knows us knows that we get out there, and it's definitely a quality board. Along with some of our members here, we have Dane that is with the museum, and Dave and Nancy and Gloria, and definitely, if anybody wants to say anything. Dane always has something to say.
Mayor, we just want to thank you, council members. Your support is greatly appreciated. We look forward to our 20th anniversary year and celebrating our birthday all through next year, and we look forward to giving you updates on our progress and all the wonderful things that children will get to do.
Yeah, so we do have a First Friday event coming up, like you said. So definitely come out for the First Friday in December, and let's have a good time.
Thank you very much. Let's give him a hand. Next, we have some introductions. We'll start with the police department. I'd like to call up Chief Wes Simmons. And then we're also going to have promotions from the new transportation manager. So I'll go ahead and call up Nick Ligori, our Director of Development Services. We'll start with the police department.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I'd like to introduce our newest corporal, Corporal Brandon Heidelberg. Come on up here, Brandon. So Brandon was promoted on October 21st to the position of corporal. He has been with our department since 2002. He started as a lateral police officer. We stole him from another agency, like we do quite a few of our personnel. That's absolutely true. He's done a great job for us over the years. He spent many years as a canine handler. He's one of our field training officers. He's also one of our newest UAS pilots, so he's taking care of our drone program as well. And he's a trainer. He's a trainer in our taser system, in use of force, defensive tactics. And currently he's assigned to the training unit, and we're just excited to have him take on this new role and responsibility.
Congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
I just want to thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of City Council. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I look forward to continuing my career at the Chino Police Department. And we're also very grateful for your support. Thank you.
Thanks, Wes.
I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Dennis Rawls. So Dennis, please join us up here. Dennis is the city's transportation manager. So he functions as the city's traffic engineer. He's a certified traffic engineer with the state of California, and he joins us a couple of months ago, comes from the city of Corona. He has a wealth of knowledge and experience in managing traffic issues as well as in transportation planning. And he has already been a great addition to the city's traffic team, working closely with Public Works and the police department.
So he's going to solve all the traffic issues.
He's already started.
Don't we wish? Would you like
Thank you, Mayor and City Council, for having me. I have about over 20 years experience in municipal government, with the last 17 or so being in traffic engineering. And I'm happy to be at the city of Chino to help enhance the traffic safety and traffic transportation planning here in the city of Chino. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, and congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay, our next presentation, Waste Management's 2019 Recycling All-Stars. I'd like to call up Glenda Chavez of Waste Management, who's going to introduce the Waste Management All-Stars.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, members of the audience, and residents at home. Of all the years that we've been servicing the beautiful city of Chino, I've never had the situation where none of my recipients are here, but I did want to come and recognize them and let them know that we do appreciate their efforts despite them not being able to be here. Every year, Waste Management, in partnership with the city of Chino, recognizes one commercial business and two residential households as our recycling all-stars. And this year, our business is J&J Electronics. They're located on Schaefer. It's a private business with about 30 employees. So it's large enough to have recycling issues, but I'm proud to say that they have been identified by our drivers as having a wonderful, products out for us to recycle. So which is really great, especially in our market right now. Our two residentials are Marie Padilla, so we'll be recognizing them. We'll be sending them some their certificates and along with some WM swag. And Yu Ning is our other residential recipient of the 2019 Recycling All-Stars. So kudos to them, and I look forward to meeting them in the near future.
Tell them congratulations from us, and we have some certificates for them. Thank you, Glenda. And then we have one last presentation, but again, the winners couldn't be here, and it's for the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for November. This month's winners are Jeffrey and Tammy Doan of 13570 Sycamore Lane. The picture of their home is on the screen. They'll be presented with a certificate and a picture of their home, 2 lapel pins, 2 writing pens, and then, of course, the coveted yard sign, should they choose to put it up. So congratulations to them, even though they couldn't be here this evening. Prior to the meeting starting, we did have a closed session. I'd like to call upon our city attorney, Mr. Galante. He will report out of that meeting.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council and audience. The city council met in closed session and discussed the 2 items listed on the closed session agenda. Beginning with item A, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, the matter entitled FH Roman numeral 2 LLC DBA Frontier Communities versus City of Chino. The various cases under the case numbers identified on the agenda were discussed. City Council received a briefing and a status of those cases, provided direction, and no further reportable action was taken. Item B, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation under the heading significant exposure to litigation. 1 case was discussed. City Council received a briefing of that threat of litigation, and no further reportable action was taken. That concludes the report out of closed.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Galante. Next, under public announcements, first I'd like to remind everyone that this year's annual tree lighting ceremony will be held on Tuesday, December 3rd, just before the City Council meeting. As usual, the tree lighting ceremony will begin at 6 o'clock, where everyone can enjoy light refreshments, listen to the Chino Community Chorus, and join myself and the council as we flip the switch and officially welcome the holiday season here at City Hall. Following the tree lighting ceremony, the City Council meeting will begin at 7 p.m. in the council chambers. For more information on the tree lighting ceremony and the City Council meeting, please call the admin department at 909-334-3304. Additionally, on Saturday, December 7th, please join the Chino Valley YMCA by participating in the 8th annual Reindeer Romp at Ayala Park. Here, individuals of all ages and capabilities can reach their fitness goals by participating in the 5K, 10K, and 10K, both beginning at 8:15. Or, for those 6 and under, the quarter-mile kids run, which begins at 8. For all those interested, please make sure you register soon, as prices will increase by $5 after Sunday, December 1st. For more information, please visit www.active.com and research Reindeer Romp 2019. Also, please mark your calendars for our annual Chino Youth Christmas Parade and Fair starting at 9 o'clock on Saturday, December 14th. The parade will start on the corner of Riverside Drive and Monte Vista Avenue, will then head east on Riverside Drive and take a south turn on Central Avenue, ending at Chino Avenue. Following the parade, make sure you stop by the Civic Center to enjoy carnival rides, family entertainment, craft fairs, and Santa's Village at the Chino Youth Museum. For more information, please call our Community Services Department at 909-334-3256. And lastly, please note that City Hall will be closed on Thursday and Friday, November 28th and 29th, in observation of Thanksgiving holiday. City Hall will reopen on Monday, December 2nd at 7:30 a.m. Okay, next on the agenda is public comment. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the council on items that are not listed elsewhere on the agenda. If you have anything to say today, we'd be happy to hear your comments, but we can't take action on anything that's not agendized. Our first written request to speak is Mr. Len Wells from the Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills. Are you here this evening, Len? There was a possibility that he might be late. Okay, Mr. Wells does not appear to be here. Mr. Ballantyne? Okay, Mr. Ballantyne is going to lead us in an invocation. All those that would like to participate, please stand.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this ability to gather as a community, and we appreciate the council's willingness to help us lead not only the community but this organization. We ask for wisdom and good health among our council members, and we ask that the actions we take this evening are pleasing to you. I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ballantyne. Okay. Yolanda Holguin and the Boxing Board.
Hi. Good evening, Mary Aloha.
Good evening.
Councilman, how are you? Well, we're here again one more time, very proud as the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation to make you aware that we received a certificate of recognition, and that was on October 21st by the Senator Connie Leyva. So, we wanted you to know that we place, and here it is, it's Senator Connie Leyva, Terrific 20 of SD 20 Award 2019 to the Chino Boxing Club. So we're so proud, that we have achieved this during this term. And thank you for your support, because you have made it possible for us. And I also want to thank you, because I hear there's a great donation this year coming of some toys for the Chino youths. And a lot of help is coming in from the city of Chino. So thank you so much for that, for remembering our boxing kids in our community. Also, Josie is going to read a flyer that we are putting on the Gobblers gloves this Sunday, November 24th. So she's just going to read it, and I know that we want to give it out to the council. You go ahead and read that, and then I'll pass these out to them. Okay. And then you're going to speak if you have anything.
I'd also like to comment on this award. I really felt honored to be there with Senator Connie Leyva. She selected 20 different groups or organizations, individuals from different cities in the Inland Empire, and we were chosen as one of them. Mm-hmm. So it really made me proud to feel that, God, we got 2 awards in a year. So that really means that our program is really working. And we see something on TV every day about youth, about different things. I really feel we're very fortunate in Chino to have a program for these kids to go that is reasonable for parents. Things can get really expensive, and you just see all types of kids that go in there, and they get to be outside the box, outside their neighborhood. They get to come to be somewhere where there's kids their age, and it's a really safe environment, and the mentorship is really great. So kudos to you for helping support that program. And this Sunday, we're going to have our Gobbler Gloves boxing showcase. We have it every year. And it's going to be Sunday, November 24th. Come watch Chino's finest amateur boxing compete against the best boxing clubs in Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, and Los Angeles counties. The doors open at 12, and it's at the Neighborhood Activity Center, 5201 D Street in Chino. For people who are interested in, or if they have boxers, the weigh-ins are at 8 o'clock, and the first bout starts at 1 o'clock. The admission is 5 years and younger are free, 6 years to 11 years is $5, and 12 years and older is $12. And you really get good boxing, and we have a snack bar there, and we just have different people that sponsor bouts, and they all get to get recognized, and it's all part of the program. But we're really, really proud of our kids, our coaches, and our staff that works at the NAC. They just really make it happen for Chino. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here, and it is a wonderful program. It's been very successful over the years, and I always enjoy seeing the Boxers of the Month awards and stuff, and especially the little guys that are in the program. But yes, it's been a wonderful
And
program.
if you attend, we are definitely, especially through the request of Mayor Ulloa, you don't have to go on that ring and go under that rope. So we're going to make sure that, any of those turkeys. We received 40 turkeys that were donated from the senator's office. So that really saved us so much money. And that we're very proud of doing. But we would love to see you there. So if you're going to give out those turkeys and awards, we're going to have you outside of the nice little ring there.
Yeah,
So you
I've
don't
had
have
to
worry.
climb inside that ring
I
before, and that is
remember.
not easy.
Oh, I know. And thank you again. It's an honor for us to receive this award, for us to be part of the Chino Youth Boxing Foundation and have the support of each and one of you, Council, especially Mark, who was with me last Christmas with a lot of toys and donations. Thank you, Mark Lucio. Great job. And thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming this evening.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'd like to just say thank you to the board for your volunteering and the work you guys do. You put in a lot of effort, and it's so important to the club. Thank you.
Okay, next written request is Melissa Campani from Supervisor Hagman's office.
Well, good evening, Madam Mayor Ulloa, council members, staff, and of course, community members. Supervisor Hagman did ask me to come by. I know this is all coming up on us rather fast, but it's here. The holidays have arrived. So we're looking forward to the supervisor's Christmas open house. And like I said, we would like to extend this invitation to all community members. This open house will be taking place on December the 5th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And the address is 14000 City Center Drive in Chino Hills. That is actually the City Hall, Chino Hills City Hall lobby area, because we do have a very nice festive celebration. We have lots of people attend, which we do encourage. However, it is requested that we do receive RSVPs because we want to have a little food to feed everyone. So if we have an idea of a head count, that's always wonderful.
Do you have a number that you'd like to give? Do you have a phone number for the RSVPs?
It is all through Eventbrite, supervisorhagman.eventbrite.com.
Okay.
And that event will pop up, and I do have additional flyers. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Next written request to speak is Mr. Stubby Barr. Be careful, Stubby.
Tearing the place apart. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council members. I have two things, something else that I just decided I wanted to add regarding the Chino Youth Museum. If you don't get their email blasts, they should also be recognized for having the absolute best produced and greatest graphics of any email blast that goes out anywhere. They're absolutely fantastic. So if you want to know what's going on and you want to see some really cool emails, sign up on their website.
Oh, okay.
what I wanted to bring to your attention tonight is I wanted to publicly recognize somebody, a member of our community, who's done something that doesn't happen very often. We see a lot of negative issues that are emphasized in the news today, and recently, one of our police officers, hopefully you all saw it, Ryan Tillman, who's now corporal, has been promoted to corporal, was on the national network news during his farewell dance tour at Don Lugo. It was pretty amazing, and I want to recognize him and thank him because that's the face we want for the city of Chino, and it gives us something to be proud about. What he did is no small feat. I couldn't do it. He performed the Winchell's Wiggle, which I understand is very difficult, and the Jelly Donut Slam while wearing a bulletproof vest and full tactical gear. So please join me in thanking him for just making us look so good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not quite on the songs, but pretty close.
You know, Chief, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have Ryan at the council meeting to perform those same dance steps.
That'd be a treat.
That would be fun.
He needs his backup dancers.
He needs his backup dancers. He did a great job. That was really cool. Okay, our next written request to speak, Mr. George Rogers.
Good evening, Council, Mayor,
Good evening.
meetings. I've watched you grow. You've been here a long time.
I
I've
have
been here
been here.
35 years, and you've been here, I can't remember since when.
35 years.
Yeah.
Time.
I'm Mr. Rogers. I live on Chino Avenue in the county area, north side of the street across from, actually diagonally on the other side of the wash from the veterinarian. My concern is, and I'm really happy that the police force happens to be here, and also a new traffic manager.
Uh-oh.
Chino Avenue is inundated with trucks that are over 5 tons. I followed a rig down here that had 4 cars on top of it. And if that's not over 20 tons, I don't know what is. People have asked me when I've called, what time do they come through? They come through at 4:30 in the morning, they come through at midnight, they come through at all hours of the day and night. And I'm impacted because I live on the 2nd floor. Sound carries. I'm looking at new windows to the tune of about $6,000 for upstairs. Hurts my feelings to put the money out because I've already done it once. So all I like to do is broach the subject again. Could someone put that on the agenda? Every once in a while, a little police presence would be nice. That's all I ask.
Okay, that's not
helps.
asking too much.
I hope not.
Since we have our new traffic manager in the audience, then he can look at Chino Avenue, and so can the PD.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Okay, now those are the only written requests to speak that I have this evening. Are there any other people in the audience who would like to address the council on anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, we also have a tradition, and I'm not sure if we have any students in the audience tonight, but Stubby, you are not a student. Are there any students in the audience that are here to fulfill a class requirement? There is one. His dad just raised his hand. Come up to the lectern, please. Give us your name, the school you're attending, your teacher's name, and the class that you're taking.
Hello, my name is Gavin Itagaki. I'm doing this for my teacher, Poteet, for the government.
And your school?
And my school, Don Lugo, Don Antonio Lugo High School.
Okay, well, thank you for being with us this evening. Is there anyone else in the audience? Okay, we just had one student this evening. Oh, yes, ma'am. Come on up. Oh, we have another one.
Hi, my name is Tuyên Nguyen, and I taking California policy, so I come here.
Okay, what school?
Kapoli Pomona.
All right, and what's your teacher's name?
Scott something? I forgot.
Scott something. Okay. Well, thank you for visiting us. Okay, anyone else in the audience? Okay. All right, then we will move on to our consent calendar. We're pulling item number 13 for separate action. Do any council members wish to have any other items pulled? Okay, then I would entertain a motion for the balance of the consent calendar. Motion from Councilman Hargrove, second from Councilman Lucio. And the item passes 4 yes, 1 absent, that being Councilman Rodriguez. Item number 13 is pulled for a separate action. It is the adoption of ordinance number 2019-018. I'll entertain a motion. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Howie, second from Councilman Hargrove. Please vote. And the item passes 3 yes, 1 no, that being Mr. Lucio. Okay, next item under new business, item number 15, award of contract Parks and Facilities Master Plan, PROS Consulting Incorporated. This is to This is to approve a professional services agreement with PROS Consulting Incorporated, Indiana, and Indianapolis, in the amount of $182,050 for the Parks and Facilities Master Plan. Staff report this evening will be provided by our projects manager, Ms. Carolyn Baltzer.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the council. The current fiscal year budget provides funding for the Parks and Facilities Master Plan. The last Parks and Facility Master Plan was completed in the 1980s and does not meet the current needs of the city. The purpose of developing a new master plan is to create a clear vision, action plan, and financial strategy for current and future parks and facilities. The RFP included 3 additional options. Option A is a community services, recreation programs assessment and recommendations, which will identify how well the recreation programs align with community needs. Option B is a per capita spending analysis, which will analyze expenditures related to maintenance, operations, staffing, programming, administration, and capital improvements. Option C is a transportation and connectivity analysis and the mapping of the existing pedestrian, equestrian, bike path routes, bus routes, and other mass transportation modes and data. During the evaluation period, staff elected options A and B as part of the contract. Including these options as part of the scope of work will provide a comprehensive report providing goals, policies, guidelines, and strategies for both current and future growth development. A request for proposals was published on Planet Bids, and on September 24, 2019, 5 proposals were received. The pricing ranged from $94,999 to $187,190. The selected firm was evaluated on experience, past performance, project team, scheduling, references, cost, understanding the scope of work, and work plan, which includes options A and B. Based on the review of the proposals, Pros Consulting Incorporated of Indianapolis, Indiana was selected. At this time, staff is requesting City Council's approval to award a contract in the amount of $182,050 to Pros Consulting Incorporated for the Parks and Facilities Master Plan. To offset the additional costs, staff is requesting an appropriation of $13,050 from the unappropriated reserves of the Park Fund. City Attorney's Office has reviewed all the documents and found them to be in order. This concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. Any questions from council members or comments? Tom?
Yeah, how long do we think the report will take to complete? Is there a time?
We're looking at about 6 months, so we should have it by August, July or August.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions? Anyone in the audience would like to make any comments? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain an appropriate motion. Motion from Councilman Hargrove, second from Councilman Lucio. And the item passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Item number 16, award of construction contract, Edison Avenue Traffic Signal Modifications and Interconnect Communications Project. This is to award a construction contract, Edison Avenue Traffic Signal Modifications and Interconnect Communications Project, TR 151/G7023/HSIPL 5188, parens 021, Advantage ID number 0180000056. Good heavens. Staff report this evening will be provided by our Public Works Project Manager, Karen Campbell. No, you're not Karen Campbell. What happened to Karen Campbell?
She was ill, so Maria Fraser will.
Sorry about
will
that,
sub in.
Maria.
That's
Well,
all
you're
right.
not Karen.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members, and audience. The project you will be authorizing staff to award for construction tonight, TR 151. It's a safety project that includes traffic signal modifications, access ramps, striping, and a traffic signal interconnect communication system that could be utilized by the police department to expand their license plate reader program. The project entails 3 intersections, Edison Avenue at Ramona Avenue, at Yorba Avenue, and at Monte Vista. This project is funded by a Highway Safety Improvement Program grant, federal grant, awarded to the city in 2015 in the amount of $953,000 and Measure I in the amount of $106,000. This is a legacy project from 2015, and plans had to be redesigned for some aspects as they related to the ADA improvements. The project plans and specs were advertised on October 2nd, 2019 on Planet Bids, the city online procurement website, and the Chino Champion in accordance to the federal guidelines. On October 30th at 10 a.m., 11 bids were received and opened. The apparent low bidder, Alfaro Communications Construction of Compton, California, was deemed non-responsive because it did not meet the minimum bid packages requirements. Alfaro Communications Construction failed to complete Federal Exhibit 12B and failed to submit an itemized schedule of values per the bid schedule. Alfaro Communications was notified in writing on November 7th, 2019. The second low bidder, KDC, Inc., doing business as Dynaelectric of Los Alamitos, California, was responsive to the bid package requirements and therefore was deemed to be the lowest responsible bidder with a total bid amount of $1,450,737. A summary of the bidders and respective bid amounts is included in the staff report. The award of this project is very critical from its financial aspect, as Caltrans authorized staff to begin the construction for this phase, the construction phase of this project back in May of 2018, which has placed this project in a jeopardy of losing the grant funds. Getting this much-needed project out to construction is keeping Public Works on schedule to meet our goals. The staff is therefore recommending the approval of all the items described on the recommendation portion of the staff report. This concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. This isn't a public hearing, but we do have one request to speak, and that's Mr. Stubby Barr.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, once again. You should have a handout from Angela consisting of 2 pages that go along with this. This project is necessary. I am not advising that you don't award it. I just want to clarify a few things. 2 of you, the Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem, will remember these issues when I bring them up. What you have in front of you is the bid proposal, the bid schedule from the bid proposal of the contract that you're asking to be awarded. And basically, I have done a quick analysis of it. The items that are circled in yellow are general conditions, so they get dispersed across the 2, but on the bottom of the last page, you'll see that the project can be divided into 2 parts financially. One is the traffic signal modification and interconnect project, And the other portion is the accessibility improvements, the ones marked AI. The general conditions were divided basically on financial impact of the ratio of the total to the two sums. What this tells us is that the access improvements for this project cost $726,000. $250,000. So that doesn't include plans, it doesn't include any extra, but it does include contingency. That is 12 crossings, 3 intersections, all 3 of which were repaved in 2016. All 12 of these corners were torn out in 2016 and installed new, and 4 of the corners were torn out in 2017 and installed new. As part of the street rehabilitation program, you may remember that I presented you with a 465-page report on the deficiencies for that. It was approved anyway. This is the first step in remediating those 500 and something deficiencies. The cost for the 2016 and 2017 contract and change orders for the concrete portion was $650,000. And that does not include the money that we spent hiring outside consultants and legal teams and the Martin brothers to prove that my report was not good. We have to do this work. I do not agree with the current design. The current design is not an ultimate condition, and there's really no reason that we shouldn't be installing the ultimate condition at those corners. The pedestrian transitions are going to be blended. Instead of having curb ramps that go down from the sidewalk, we are lowering the pedestrian area down to the level of the street. It's never a good idea, in my opinion, whether it meets code or not, and there are some code issues with the plans, but they seem to be rather minor. I don't agree with the design, but something needs to be done. We need to start fixing this stuff. I just want you to be aware of how expensive this becomes when we don't do it right the first time. We've rushed into the street rehab. Remember, of course, that this was a previous administration who's no longer here because we had to do it, and we're now paying the price. And this $750,000 comes out of the general fund. This is money we could have spent on something else. So I hope you consider that and stuff that goes on in the future, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Stubby. Any questions from council members? Or comments? Okay. Would entertain a motion, please. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Howie, second from Councilman Lucio, and the item passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, next item is new business with the Joint City Council and Chino Public Financing Authority. So Chairman, Mayor Pro Tem Tom Howie.
Okay, I'd like to call the Public Financing Authority to order.
Okay, the item is number 17, refunding of the Community Facilities District bonds. This is the adoption of resolutions authorizing the issuance of special tax refunding bonds and their corresponding Chino Public Financing Authority resolutions, approving the substantially final forms of the Indenture of Trust Preliminary Official Statement, Bond Purchase Agreement, and Continuing Disclosure Agreement for the 2019A and 2019B refunding bonds. Our staff report this evening will be provided by our Director of Finance, Rob Burns.
Good evening, Mayor, members of City Council. Tonight we're seeking approval to refinance 8 of our outstanding CFDs. We've grouped the refinancing into 2 separate issues. The first is our 2019A tax exempt series. We have 2 residential CFDs that are included in this issue. The 2019 series is tax exempt because the old bonds will be paid off within 90 days of the refinancing. Depending on the final interest rate we secure, this will save residents in those CFDs between $155 and $80 per year each. We've also have our 2019 B series. This can include 6 CFDs, 3 of which are industrial CFDs and 3 are residential CFDs. And these are taxable because the payoff of these is going to be greater than 90 days after the refinancing. When we began the refinancing process, the interest rates were very favorable, and we calculated a total savings of about $2.6 million with all these refinancings. Since that time, interest rates have moved against us, gone higher, and so we're anticipating that the 2019 A series still has significant savings, and we want to move forward with that. But the 2019 B series has fallen below a threshold that we just don't feel it's financially viable to refund those at this time. However, we do want to seek your approval of those bond documents tonight so that if the interest rates drop, we can secure those savings immediately and just move forward with the refinancing. So with that, we do want to refinance both the 2019 A and B series, and hopefully we can save $2.6 million or thereabouts. That concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Are there any members of the public that would like to address the council on this item? Okay, seeing none, any comments from council members or questions?
Yeah, I just want to say, Rob, it's a good idea whenever we can save our residents some money on a refinancing. You didn't really say what the CFD stood for. Maybe you could just kind of tell people just briefly what go ahead.
I'm sorry, what the CFD what are?
What it actually means. I mean,
Okay,
to
yeah.
the public, I mean,
Yeah,
we're
so
used to
a
that.
CFD is a community facilities district, and those are issued to finance the public improvements that are required for that housing or industrial development. So when they build a housing tract, they're required to put in the water, sewer, storm drain, those type of improvements. And so the developer builds those, and then we issue the CFD debt. And so then that repays that amount of money that the developer has invested in that infrastructure for that, that development. And then those are repaid over usually a 30-year life.
Okay, good. That's all I have.
Okay. If there's no questions of staff, then I would entertain a motion. It's a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Howie, second from Councilman Lucio. The item does pass 4 yes, 1 absent. Mr. Howie, would you like to adjourn Public Financing Authority?
Yes, I'd like to adjourn the Financing Authority.
Okay, next on the agenda is mayor and council reports. And this is activity that has happened since the last council meeting, which was on November 5th. Quite a bit happened. On Wednesday, the 6th, I attended the Omnitrans Board of Directors, and notable items was due to a projected deficit starting in 2021. The board adopted the service adjustments, guiding principles, and overall scale of the proposed service reduction of 71,000 service hours per year. Although the suggested changes won't be finalized or determined until after more studies and public hearings, several lines that serve Chino and Chino Hills are proposed to be realigned or even eliminated. More information will be coming in the future on that. The San Bernardino County Transportation Authority Board of Directors, notable items, a request for $850,000 to fund the SBCTA and Omnitrans consolidation study and innovative transit review of the Metro Valley was approved. Also, a construction contract was awarded for an additional lane on the ISR 210 and Baseline Interchange project. Now, as many of you are aware, extending the Gold Line to the Montclair Trans Center has been an item for quite some time. Recently, the Gold Line Authority awarded a construction contract to extend the Gold Line from Azusa to Pomona with completion by 2025. Once the line to Pomona is completed, the next phase to Montclair was estimated to cost an estimated $540 million, $450 million for the Los Angeles County portion, and $97 million for the San Bernardino portion. One gigantic problem is that this phase is underfunded by about $467 million. Apparently, LA Metro failed to file for federal funding for their portion, and SBCTA has budgeted $80 million, which is 17 million short for the San Bernardino portion. Since there's no guarantee that LA Metro will pursue the funding of their $450 million, the board authorized staff to begin development of the MetroLink Gold Link hybrid rail as a cost-effective approach to providing more frequent service on the San Bernardino line, and report back to the board at the December 12th Transit Committee meeting. So I'll bring back further information as it becomes available. I also attended the Watermaster Storage Workshop number 3 that day, and the Youth Sports President's Dinner, which is always a fun event to attend. On Thursday the 7th, I attended the IEUA Sewage Policy Committee. The committee was provided an update on the RP5 expansion and financing plan. RP5 is located east of the IEUA headquarters on Kimball and serves the city of Chino, Chino Hills, and Ontario. Phase 1 was built in 2004 to treat 15 million gallons per day of wastewater. Now, to meet growth projections, the next expansion phase is underway. The construction contract is expected to be awarded in April 2020, with all work expected to be completed in April 2024. The total estimated cost is approximately $365 million. The committee was also provided an update of the 2020 rate study. IEUA's wastewater connection fee, monthly service fee, water connection fee, and monthly water rate will be increasing in FY 2020 and 2021. Since these fees are collected by our city and directly passed through to IEUA, our city will be required to put these rate changes to a vote of the people to meet the requirements of Prop 218. So this vote will be put to the people next year. Friday the 8th, I attended the Howard Cattle Veterans Day ceremony with Councilman Lucio. That was really fun, and I'm sure he'll provide a lot of information on it. We also attended the Infrastructure Committee meeting regarding the implementation of budget-based rates, which will begin in December. Then I met with Mr. Jim Leininger regarding the preservation of a handball court. Monday the 11th, I attended our first Veterans Day celebration with other council members, and it was really wonderful to honor the veterans that were there, and I was really pleased with the turnout of the public since that was our first event. Tuesday the 12th, I attended San Bernardino County Transportation Authority workshop to update the authority's mission statement. Then on Wednesday the 13th, Watermaster Storage Workshop number 4. Thursday the 14th, I attended the appropriative pool meeting, and I met with Chris Dalkos regarding a fast food project down on Euclid. After that, myself, Chief Simmons, City Manager Ballantyne, and Community Services Director Dr. Reich met with Mr. Gary Justice to provide him with information on what our city is doing to address the growing homeless population. Then on Saturday the 16th, attended the City Hall on the Move held at our local Walmart, and I want to thank the members of our staff and the members of the PD and other council members for coming to greet people literally from all over the United States. We had people there from Florida, from New York. It's amazing how many people attend our Walmart. Many people from Chino Hills, Ontario, Pomona. They say they really like coming to our Walmart, and we're glad to have those tax dollars. And then since we're not meeting again until December 3rd, I want to wish everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And also I'll be adjourning our meeting this evening in memory of Betty McCain. So, Mr. Howie, your report.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. People walked up and we go, are you Chino residents? And no, we're from Florida. We're just in town. And then 5 minutes later, another people from Florida. Yeah, we know them. So it was crazy.
New York.
New York, yeah. It was interesting. So anyway, yeah, the last couple of weeks have been busy. I also attended the youth sports dinner. It's great to hear from our little leagues and Pop Warner football and AYS soccer on how the leagues are doing, and just talking about it. We have so many great programs here for the kids, and it's great to sit down and get some updates. I attended on the 7th. I attended the Water Facilities Authority Technical Advisory meeting, and also the same day the Chino Desalter Authority board meeting. And then on the 8th, I did attend Donald Lugo's CIF playoff game at the here in Chino, at the stadium. And it was funny because I was standing next to Ryan Tillman, Officer Tillman, and he pulled out his phone, and it was his last day as the resource officer, and he showed me the video of that evening, of that day's pep rally where he said his goodbye as the school resource officer. It was cute. It was really funny. We were laughing about that. He's quite a character. And so then on Veterans Day, I want to thank the chief for emceeing that. Wes, you did a great job emceeing our Veterans Day. It was a good turnout, and for our first Veterans Day ceremony, went very well. And thanks to Matt, and thanks to Linda Reich, and all the whole staff who did a great job. It was really well done, and it'll be bigger next year, I'm sure, from that. Let's see what else. Also attended the police department swearing in and the promotions that the chief had at the PD. It's always great to see all the new faces and the family members out there and the little kids running around making all kinds of noise. You do a good job hanging in there as the kids are making tons of noise in those ceremonies. And then also the San Bernardino Transit Authority. I attended the Metro Study Session, and then of course last but not least. The City Hall on the Move, and it was good. It was good. I think next year, though, it would probably be better when we do that, or next time we do that, is to have an entrance at Walmart and one at Sam's Club too. I think then we get more people for that, since they're so close together. I think that would make a lot of sense. So that's a suggestion for next time we do that. And then I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving also. So take care. Thank you.
Councilman Hargrove.
All right, thank you, Mayor. November 9th, I attended Bark Around the Park. I saw Councilman Lucio there. That's the first time I've attended that event. It was amazing. One of the things that stood out to me was the staff and how well they put on these programs. I mean, this is like my first year, and the Community Services Department just does such a great job. I was amazed at the amount of dogs that were there and the different breeds of dogs that were there and how well they all got along, much better than probably people. But I did get some questions when I was there because we park it right there by the old driving range, and of course the questions come like, that would make a great dog park right there. So maybe, Dr. Reich, if we're looking at this, we've just awarded this contract for parks and facilities. Maybe somewhere in there will be an element related to a dog park in Chino. We're a little bit behind the curve on that, I think. But I didn't see any instances of dogs from the Dobermans and the Pit Bulls to the Chihuahuas that they didn't get along. So that was always my concern that you might, put them all in there. But so we'll leave that up to the city staff to what's the most appropriate place for a dog park in Chino. And then November 14th, I attended a bill signed into law webinar. That was my punishment for the year. It was at least a couple hours of listening to how Sacramento's telling us everything we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and don't try running your own city, we'll run it for you. It's just amazing. I can only suggest that you go online and look up some of these yourself, and maybe we can put something out there on our own webpage that they're just concerning, some of them, just most of them around housing, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also attended the City on the Move. Again, thank you again for the city staff. It's the police and all those that are out there. It's a little strange sometimes trying to interrupt people's day and drag them over to see if they have any concerns. I found that Walmart was kind of the least responsive in terms of Albertsons. Everyone engaged and told us this and that. And so I think that as you move along, you just get different aspects. So I like the idea that we're moving around the city, and it just brings a different element each time we do it. So I really enjoy coming to those and listening to what people have to say. And they love the free bags for sure, especially going into Walmart.
And pens.
Yeah, even more than one bag, right? I mean,
Yes.
One for each child too. And then I attended last night, November 18th, was the Planning Commission, and on that agenda was the Chino Francis Estates. It did pass for a recommendation to come to the council for annexation and zone change, and then they also did approve the development 4-3. There were a lot of residents there, probably nearly 200 residents there. It was held at the senior center. It was about split down the middle in terms of those that were there, in terms of for and against. I think the Planning Commission did a great job in listening to everybody's concerns. I know it's going to come before us at some point. It's very interesting. I mean, I have a lot of concerns myself related to it, but I'll withhold those till all people have spoke on it, and we'll see where that goes. And then lastly, I guess, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and cherish the time with your family, that's for sure. I know it's that time of the season where families get together and don't always get along necessarily, but certainly cherish the time with your family because you never know what's going to happen. And then congratulations, and they're gone, the boxing club. They just continue to impress me with the ladies and gentlemen that run that program, just how well they do in that program, and I will see them on Sunday. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Lucio.
Yes, on Wednesday, November 6th, I attended the Youth Sports President's Dinner at Central Bosco. It was nice to see, it appears that all our youth sports are flourishing except for, and it was kind of disheartening to see that our Pop Warner football team seems to be in not the greatest shape, but they said that they were going to try some new things that generate some more momentum towards that, and hopefully whatever we can do to help them out would obviously be the best thing we can do, because we would really hate to lose that program and have them go to another city. On Friday, November 8th, I also attended the Howard Cattle, and it was their first annual Veterans Day event. And it was nice that they came out and they invited us to go. And I would probably say there was at least 30 veterans that were there, one even from World War II. So it was nice to see the veterans from the different wars, and the fact that they recognized them, their grandkids would go up there with them and take a photo. And it was just nice to see that we're starting to recognize our veterans more and more. Later on that day, I attended infrastructure committee meeting with the city manager and the mayor. Then on Saturday, I went to Bark Around the Park, and I actually was able to give the award for the best looking dog, and it was a Chihuahua with a dress. So, but it definitely is a good event. Unfortunately, this year I wasn't able to take my dog because I had my son, so I wouldn't be able to manage both because he was out of control that day as well. So, but that was a good event. My hat's off to community service. You guys do a great job bringing that together, and the community seems to really enjoy it. So I'm hoping that we continue with that. And on Monday, November 11th, I attended the Veterans Day event. And again, Dr. Wright did an outstanding job there. I know it being the first time that we were going to have that, it was we were kind of wondering what kind of turnout we were going to have, but it was actually a very, very well-attended event, and like Mayor Pro Tem Howie said, I'm sure it'll only get bigger. But again, it's always nice to see that we're recognizing our veterans, because I know for a period in time in our history we didn't. So it's good to see that it's turning around full circle. And on Saturday, I went to City Hall on the Move at Walmart, and it was a little difficult to get people's attention because maybe it's just so busy there, and I even challenged the city manager to try to give out a couple more bags because for some reason they wouldn't take them from him. So I don't know if they thought he was trying to sell something and therefore they weren't taking anything from him, but it was overall it was good to be out there on the weekend trying to connect with people and talking to people. So I'm glad we're doing it, and it seemed like the people that did come out there enjoyed the fact that we were there. So I want to thank the police department, because they had several representatives there, and it was good to see them going out there and interacting with the community, because I know it's important for the police department to interact with the community on a positive basis, not just always on a negative basis. So my hat's off to you, and I thank you for doing that. And I want to end with everybody enjoy their holidays. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. But just like I'm sure the police chief's going to touch on, during these holiday times, make sure that if you're going to drink, don't drive, and utilize Lyft or Uber to get around so that you don't cause any accidents. And one thing I did want to say that I saw that was at the Stater Brothers, they're on Euclid and Schaefer. They're doing a repeal or the governor there, so they're taking signatures there. So I thought that was interesting to see it there. But that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ballantyne, anything this evening?
Mayor, you've covered a majority of my items. The only thing I do want to share is, as far as the Francis Estates, we're looking at having that hearing in January. It will not take place during the month of December. As we, I think there's some additional actions that need to be taken, and once those are completed, that'll be brought before the council, but we're looking at seeing that, and just so the public's aware that that will probably be considered by the council in January of 2020. That concludes my reports.
You're not going to report on how many bags you gave out, why you were having problems?
I redeemed myself towards the end of the day.
Didn't you run out of bags?
But we did, yeah. We gave out, there were 4 cases of bags. We were trying to manage both exits. And certainly I recognize there were a lot of folks that were outside of our community that were enjoying what our community offers. And I told those folks that we certainly love them for their contributions to Walmart. So anyway, I enjoyed it. I don't think we're going to find one place being home. I think we're going to continue to move around the community, and so hopefully we'll go to a neighborhood near you. But I thought we had a good dialogue with residents. So thank you.
Mr. Galante.
No report. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Simmons.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to touch on the homeless issue that you brought up in our meeting with Mr. Justice and share with the community what it is we are doing. The first thing I want to share, though, that this is not a Chino problem. This is a statewide problem. The state of California has approximately 130,000 unsheltered people, and that is almost half of the whole nation's unsheltered population is in our state. 19% of the nation's unsheltered is in the county of Los Angeles, which we border on the north end of our city. So this is a huge problem, and cities, all of us are striving to deal with this. I want to say that homelessness is not a crime. People have asked us, hey, can't you go arrest that homeless person? No, we cannot. It is not a crime to be homeless. So what are we doing about it? We're working with our community services department and our social work action group to connect these people with services. Most of the people we're coming in contact with have mental health issues or drug and alcohol dependency issues, or both. And I like to use the term unsheltered as opposed to homeless, because a lot of the ones that we contact have homes and families. It's just their homes and families don't want them in them because of the condition they're in. So we're working hard with our partners to get them their help. It takes us dozens of times to get them to accept help. They don't accept it on the first time. So with that said, and I mentioned that homelessness is not a crime, but a lot of the people with the drug and dependency issues are committing crimes to support their habits. And when they do, we will enforce the law with those people. And we're in our impacted areas every day, partnering with also our business community to take appropriate action if they do commit crimes. But our first and foremost, like I said, is to get them the help they need. So we ask the community to partner with us as well, our business community, to make sure that we make places that are not attractive for them. We've found, talking to people, they like to come to Chino because it's safe. They can be here and people will take care of them. I encourage people not to give money directly to somebody, but to use the charities and the groups that are actually going out there and having a positive impact on these groups. So I just wanted to share that with you and the community and make sure that they know that we're working hard with community services and our other partners to impact this. I also wanted to encourage people when it comes to Thanksgiving, yes, to drive responsibly. Usually we're in a hurry when we're trying to get to our families, but drive carefully, don't drink and drive, use the other resources that are out there. And then finally, the day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday, and we encourage you all to come to Chino and do your shopping here. Don't leave your valuables in your car when you go into the store. lock them up or take them with you, because you don't want to come out and find somebody have broken into your car. We will be doing extra patrol out there and trying to catch people who come into our community and commit those crimes as well. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions you might have for me.
Any questions of the chief? Just thank you very much.
Chief, are you still participating in the No Shave November?
Yes, I
Have
am.
you
Thank
started
you
yet,
for
or-
barely noticing that.
Wow.
I still have a couple of weeks to go.
Is that 2 weeks of growth?
That is.
Poor Wes.
Thank you very much for noticing.
Oh, my goodness. Chief Shackelford, he's not participating. Look it.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good
Council.
evening.
Just a couple brief items for you this evening. I'm happy to announce that we filled one of the deputy chief vacancies. Battalion Chief Dave Williams has been promoted to deputy chief. And we're anticipating 5 retirements in the next month. That will include another deputy chief promotion that's pending and a couple battalion chiefs. So I'll work with the city manager to schedule bringing those folks for an introduction.
Oh, terrific.
And we've had a tremendous amount of turnover. We're also looking for firefighter paramedics as well. So if anyone is interested, please go to our website. We will be testing again shortly. We have 5 individuals that have gone into background, but in January, we should have about 11 vacancies.
Wow.
So we need some help there
That's
as
a
well.
lot.
And just finally, to wish everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I am going to be adjourning the memory of Betty McCain. Betty was born on January 3rd, 1947, and she passed away on October 26th of this year. Betty and her husband, Tom, would have been married 54 years on November 6th. She leaves behind her very loving family, her sons Derek and daughter-in-law Amy, Matt and daughter-in-law Tracy, and daughter Jennifer. Grandchildren Sarah, Nick, Caitlin, Cole, Troy, and Faith. Betty was a longtime resident of Chino, and she was involved in many sports organizations and clubs over the years. She worked for us for many, many, many years and was a very, very well thought of, loved person. Her services will be held at 11 o'clock on Saturday, November 30th at St. Margaret Mary Catholic Church, located at 12686 Central Avenue. The reception will follow immediately after the services at the Chino Community Building, located at 5443 B Street here in Chino. Okay, with that, we're adjourning to our next regular meeting, which will be held on Tuesday, December 3rd at 7 o'clock with closed session starting at 6 if necessary.